Since that we have successfully learned how to create a 2D array or 2D table using pandas, we're now going to our main focus of today's lecture, which will be 5 kinds of charts or graphs we have. The first one is the histogram. So what is a histogram? A histogram is a display of statistical information that uses rectangles to show the frequency of the data items in any successive numerical integrals of equal size. So as we can see, here's a net hypothetical graph that we have here. So in the y-axis, we have the number of students, which corresponding to our frequency of the data items. And as we all know, our data items will be our scores on the final exam. And then noticing that those intervals gonna be successive. So which means that it's either beginning at 0 to 20, 20 to 40. We cannot eliminate 20 to 40 even though there's no students. We're gonna see the example of that later. So as we can see from this graph, these are really very nicely presented, nice rectangles. From this chart, we can see, so the maximum possible is 100 because it's ranging from 0 to 100, and then there's like different number of students. So say for example, from 60 to 80, so there are totally 40 students lying in this typical range. Okay, so let's head back to our Jupyter Notebook and then have a look at how Matplotlib can help us generate a plot like that. So now, using our tables created above, the below code tells us a histogram plotted for age, income, and sales. So remember, all those 3 columns are our numerical columns, right? So we can visualize them using a histogram. So these plots and outputs shows the frequency of each unique value for each of the 3 attributes: age, income, and sales. So noticing that we cannot use a histogram to directly manipulate all those categorical data. We have to count the appearance of this data. So if you're also interested, we can discuss it later in the, in the bonus homeworks or assignments. Just send me an email so we'll know. Okay, so let's first all go through this histogram for numerical data. So it is really, really simple because HIST function just give us the histogram in Python. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first invoke this function using df.hist. So df, remember, is the name of our data frame, right? So it's the name of this guy here. Then we use df.histogram, it generates the histogram. And then this one, the next graph is the showing plot graph. So you may wonder, what is a PLT? What is this guy? So this guy actually is our Matplotlib. So we import matplotlib.pyplot. So this is another module under Matplotlib. So we're going to import this one here as PLT. So this SPLT, basically just as PD here, would basically replace all those very long phrases simply by PLT, all those 3 letters, which is very convenient, right? So here we can do plt.show. So this line of code just basically show those histograms for us. So as we can see, there are 3 of them nicely presented here. So noticing that these ranges are successive. So even though there's no, say for example, there's no employees aging between 40 to, let's say, 50, there's a 0. We cannot eliminate that. We cannot just paste these 2 together and eliminate anything, which is 0. So that's what we want to pay attention to any Instagram. Here, this is our income. So basically we can see the most frequent incomes are lying between something between 190 to 200, and then there's like roughly 4 people in this range. And then there's, in a high range, there's like above 400, there's only like 1 people lying in this range. And then as far as goes for sales, these 130, 141, this area here is what we have most data is lying there between 3 and then 2, and then we can always sum those up to see what are the percentage lying in this area comparing to this area. And then it's really interesting, like, for this company, the age always ranging from 32 to 33 here, or 35 to 36. So roughly of them, most of them are becoming in their early 30s to their middle 30s. So that's basically what we can tell from these histogram.